Welcome. This video will teach you how to use Wooqer as a user on web application. The main objective of this walkthrough is to enable you to use the platform in the most effective and efficient manner, and also to highlight the best practices and do's and don'ts of the platform. Wooqer is a DIY platform that helps you achieve operational excellence for your business. Your organization can implement SOPs, create training modules, and coordinate different business processes. The App for Ops value proposition, along with phenomenal user adoption, makes Wooqer the most practical use technology that organizations use now. More than 250 plus enterprises across the globe use Wooqer to automate and optimize their day-to-day business operations. Wooqer can enable you and your team to execute anything you imagine with speed, reach, consistency, and effectiveness without requiring technical support. With Wooqer by your side, your possibilities are limitless. Your organization can automate and optimize store operations, visual merchandising, product sales trainings, store audits, and team engagements. Moreover, they can discover solutions for every role. Furthermore, Wooqer is not only available on the web, but also on an iOS and Android devices, and supports more than 20 languages. Once the organization signs up with Wooqer, they get their own private internet, which is in the form of URL. This URL works as a secure cloud space for the organization, which can be accessed only by the user of that private internet. The first thing that the users see when they come to their Wooqer URL is the login page. The users can sign in using their credentials, which they receive from Wooqer, or an email with a subject line, "Welcome to PI name user," once the ID is created on Wooqer. On the left-hand side of this window is the home page, which can either be an image or a video used by the organization to share organizational initiatives and messages. On the same page, behind the homepage section, is the background image, which can be customized too. Further up, stationed at the top left corner, is the logo, which can be an image or a GIF and can easily be changed by the administrator. To log in into their respective accounts, users have to key in their credentials on the right-hand side of this window. In case the mobile number is the username, then the users need to add the country code as pretext before the mobile number without any space between all the numbers. For example, for a UAE mobile number, the users need to add 971 before the mobile number without a 0 or a plus sign. In case the users forget the password or username, they can click on Forgot Password or Forgot Username, receive an OTP on their registered ID, and reset both the credentials accordingly. As soon as the users enter their credentials, they have to hit Sign In to log into their accounts. Post logging in, the users can access and explore different elements of the platform depending on their rights. If the users have producer or administrator rights, they land on dashboard. However, if they have user rights, then they land on homepage. The first thing that catches the user's eye on the homepage is the video. This space is used by the senior management to share organizational initiatives, to connect with their team, to recognize new activities and employees as part of the engagement program. This works as a broadcast channel for information sharing with all the users on Wooqer. Just like any other social media platform out there, the users can give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the content shared with them. It helps the content owner to collect anonymous feedback about the content in terms of its relevance for the users. At the same time, users can also share their feedback non-anonymously over the comments section along with attachments, and also follow the discussions to stay tuned with all the updates related to a particular campaign taking place over this channel. Other than the campaign video, everything else is personalized for the users. The left-hand side section of the home screen harbors all the information shared with the users in the form of modules. A module is a channel or tool that is used by the producers to share content with the users in the form of a video, PDF, doc, PPT, and various other formats. From this section, users can also use the search icon to search through the listing to easily locate the relevant module. When the users click on any module, they can find out the content creator's information, the objective of the module, and the chapters associated with the module. The content creator, while creating the chapters, can configure them for downloadability and also enable comments. Moreover, if need be, they can also set it in a way that only a few of the assignees have an option to download the content. Once the users click on the chapter, they'll have to go through the entire file for the chapter to be considered completely consumed by the system. A chapter can be marked complete towards the end of the file by clicking on Mark Complete icon, and same will reflect on the left-hand side of the screen as a green tick mark, which is being done by the system automatically. Furthermore, the consumption of each module leads to an overall increase in the progress bar. Using this window, users can deep dive into their overall module consumption by clicking on the progress bar on any screen. Simultaneously, they can also share feedback with the content owner in the form of comments or likes or dislikes, which ultimately helps content owner to understand its relevance. Additionally, they can also download the content if it is made downloadable. Finally, if there are any quizzes connected to the chapters, then the users would need to pass the test in order to complete the chapter. At times, there might be some critical information which the content owner wants to share with the users. In this scenario, the content owner can use the spotlight option to grab the user's immediate attention. There is no difference between a module and a spotlight content. It's just that the spotlight module is tagged as spotlight. Other than that, the users can consume this content in a similar manner as modules. As a part of Wooqer, every user is expected to keep their information up to date. To modify their profile, they can click on the picture icon on the top right corner of the homepage screen. Then the next step is to click on the profile option. From the profile screen, users can change their name, mobile number, gender, bio, date of birth, address, time zone, and the profile language. Users can switch between 4 languages on a web app, namely English, Arabic, Hindi, and Turkish, whereas the mobile app supports 20+ languages. Furthermore, users can also change their password from the same screen. Once the details are modified, users have to hit Update Profile and the changes will be saved. On the Profile dialog box, users can also view their contacts. Moreover, if a user has producer rights, and if they want to access the Creation Center or dashboard, they can switch between views using the Producer View option. Additionally, a user with administrator rights can also click on Manage PI to access it and create numerous entities, and also to customize various elements of their account on an organization level. Finally, all users can use the Sign Out icon to log out of their account. Stationed towards the left of the profile icon is the Help button, which once clicked can assist the users who are stuck and need guidance related to certain elements of the platform. Further to the left is the Reports icon, which once clicked, reports content associated to it can only be accessed by the users who have Reports View access, and also with whom reports have been shared by the producers or administrators. The users from this window can analyze 9 types of pre-aggregated reports using various filters. To access various events on a user's calendar, they can click on calendar icon on the counter above and use various filters to filter through events, birthdays, and holidays. Moreover, they can also use a few other options to see the calendar in different views and even can import their organizational calendars on Wooqer in .ics and .csv formats. Simultaneously, users can also create events and send invites to other users both on and off the platform for various events related to organizational campaigns. The next feature in line is Talk, which works like a secure internal communication channel. Over here, the users can communicate with everyone and create talks for users, teams, or everyone. Also from this screen, any user with admin rights can click on vertical ellipsis icon to unblock the blocked users and approve or remove the reported talks. Additionally, they can attach files in various formats for every talk, and the recipients can endorse, contest, comment, unfollow, and report users or talks. Moreover, they can also use various filters to access the open and closed talks. A list of errands and other tasks, often written down as a memory aid that one needs or intends to accomplish on a daily, weekly, or a monthly basis, is called a to-do list. The main purpose of a to-do on Wooqer is to help organize approvals, assessments, processes, surveys, and tasks. So learning to effectively use them will benefit the users and in turn the organization at large by improving the user's time management abilities and decreasing their stress levels. In addition to that, the processes on Wooqer are divided into two categories: ones that are time-bound or have cutoff and can only be filled once based on the set occurrence, and others that are called utility processes and can be filled multiple times in their respective frequency. The distinction between the two is drawn by a division of the screen, with former stationed in the upper section and latter residing in the bottom section of the screen. To access their to-do list, the users have to click on To Do from the counter above. This screen harbors the list of processes, surveys, tasks, and approvals that are open on the users. These can be accessed based on their respective frequencies, whether it be daily, weekly, or monthly, etc. For easy accessibility of the content, the users can use the Sort by Due option to filter through the entire list of tiles to organize it in a systematic manner based on due date, group, or type. Additionally, the three tabs on the To-Do screen keep users informed about the items that are open on them today, the items that they have filled already, and lastly the items that are pending with others for approvals. Furthermore, this option stationed right in the middle of the To-Do screen allows users to find and fill the processes easily that they have missed in the past. In order to make a submission against any form, they have to click on a particular tile from the list once, then hit Start, as shown in the given example, the store opening checklist. Before hitting Start, the pop-out window gives the users some insights about the checklist. It essentially gives them the information about the process owner, entity for which they are making a submission, period or frequency for which they are registering their response, objective of the checklist, instructions, and finally the due date. The coverage of the process indicates the entity for which the user is giving the feedback against, which in this scenario is the stores. For utility processes, the users can choose the entity for which they are trying to make the submission using the drop-down icon. In scenarios wherein there are more than one units assigned to a user, they can use the drop-down icon to select the right entity and then hit Start to submit the process. Additionally, for processes wherein geolocation is enabled, the users will have to allow the location access on their device for the system to access and validate their location for process accessibility purposes. Moreover, the users will have to be within the configured geofence of the unit to be able to select the respective unit. Once the process is open, if created systematically, the users will see sections, subsections, and questions, and they have to give their responses against all types of questions that are mandatory. If need be, they can choose to leave the non-mandatory questions. The mandatory questions are marked with a small red dot. Additionally, if there are attachments that are mandatory, users cannot submit the process without uploading these files. Furthermore, there may be questions wherein the attachment options are set to all instead of a select few. In these scenarios, users can choose to upload either of the files, be it document, image, video, or audio. In case of MCQ questions, in certain forms, they'll have an option to mark questions as not applicable, which when selected will not affect their compliance adversely. Once all the required questions have been answered along with attachments uploaded wherever necessary, the users can hit Submit button to process their submission. Finally, once the form is submitted, they'll get to see the submission screen with a dialog box relevant to their content. In scenarios wherein the users have made an error while submitting the process, if the process has data edit feature enabled, then the users will have an option to modify their submissions even after they have submitted the process. To achieve this, the users have to go to the Fill Process list, filter for the process in question, and then click on the process tile once and hit View. Once inside, just about the first section title, users need to click on the Edit Your Answers icon. From this screen, the users can modify their responses as per their requirement only for the questions that have been enabled for editability. Once done, they need to hit Update to update their submission. And this dialog box will confirm the changes made in the earlier submission. Finally, to create any new tasks and approvals on the go, users can click on Create icon and then create new tasks for any activities or duties that are to be completed by the employees, or create approvals to approve anything from documents, invoices, budgets, even purchase orders. All this can be done by keying in a few mandatory fields in a matter of seconds. Lastly, users can also access their items related to to-do, events, talks, and create tasks and approvals and events from the snippet section that is stationed on the right side of the home screen. Finally, a few things that you should keep in mind whilst using the web app as a user. To access any content on a web app, always be on a stable network. While resetting a username or password, if you do not receive an OTP, shoot an email to help desk immediately. If your cell number is the username, while keying in your username, avoid using 00 and plus symbol before the country code. Also, avoid keying in any spaces between the digits while entering the cell number as your username. To submit processes with geolocation enabled, always allow your location access on your device. If you have any questions or concerns, drop a line to help@wooqer.com. Thank you.